Hello, this is a demonstration of the LCO Technologies CROSSFIRE Air Compressor. First of all, one of the things, interesting feature that I'd like to demonstrate is the fact that we can control this compressor using a cell phone. You notice the compressor started very gradually because it does soft start. It'll ramp up, it'll get up to full speed, and you'll see the pressure starting to build. On a typical installation, we would use a 20-gallon tank, and it takes about 8 minutes to fill a 20-gallon tank to 35 psi. I've got all of the bleeds shut off tight. What we want to do is get up to the point at which the compressor starts to modulate. Unlike a typical compressor that turns on and has a wide deadband, what we do is we modulate the speed of the compressor so that we're compressing exactly how much air is required, nothing more, nothing less, and by soft starting, we have no inrush. This is my demo unit. The curve that we've set up here, you'll see that the compressor is already slowing down. Typically what I like to see in the field is a curve where we run full speed to 30, and by the time we get to 35 or 36 psi, we basically have stopped. So this is a little softer than I like to have, but if you have very, very few instruments, this is a good way to run the compressor so we minimize the energy required to maintain the air. Most of the installations where we have these compressors, this is about how they run. Maybe a little bit faster. Some of them, though, will actually run in an intermittent mode. So you'll see the compressor will eventually stop, and then I'll bleed a little air off, and it'll kick back in, and it'll run very, very slowly. You'll notice it's very quiet. So this is what we would consider intermittent mode. So generally speaking, this is about how the compressor will run in between dump valve cycles and other sort of dynamic events that will happen in the field. A dump valve will open, you'll have a small decrease in the pressure in the accumulator. The compressor speeds up, rebuilds that pressure, and then slows back down, and eventually will just shut right down and modulate. So in between those dynamic events, this is typically how we see things running in the field.